What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I'm going to do a penetration test with my AR-10 chambered in 308 Winchester, and I'm going to be shooting at some 16 gauge sheet metal. And the purpose of the test is to see how many sheets of 16 gauge sheet metal I can penetrate through with this rifle using standard full metal jacket 308 Winchester ammunition. So the ammunition I'm going to be using is some Norma Tactical M80 ball, and these are 147 grain full metal jacket, and they have an advertised muzzle velocity of 2,838 feet per second, and I've chronographed these out of my 16-inch barrel POF Rogue AR-10, and I get around 2,575 feet per second. And the sheet metal that I'm going to be using is just some standard 16 gauge sheet metal that I picked up at Home Depot. Okay, it's a 1/16 of an inch thick, so it's pretty thick sheet metal. It's the thickest sheet metal I can buy at Home Depot. So it's pretty thick stuff, as you can see. 16 gauge means that it's a 1/16 of an inch thick. It's steel, okay? It's a mill finish. And the rifle I'm going to be using is my POF Rogue. And I got my Silencer Co. Omega 300 on it. It has a 16-inch barrel. And it's Patriot Ordnance Factory. They're out of Arizona. Okay, and this is their Rogue. Okay, beautiful rifle. I have this Sig Sauer Whiskey 5, and they actually don't make this scope anymore. This is a second focal plane, and it's 2 to 10 power, which I think is perfect for an AR-10. And I got a Burris Fast Fire 3 mounted to the top for close-in shots. So let's see how many sheets of 16 gauge sheet metal I can penetrate through with my AR-10 using this Norma Tactical M80 ball ammunition. This stuff penetrates really well. I've penetrated through 8 Douglas fir 2x10s with this ammunition, and I've penetrated through like 40 sheets of plywood with it and 40 plus sheets of sheetrock. So this stuff can really penetrate. It's actually pretty tough. I was pretty surprised when I did my initial testing with this round. This bullet is pretty tough, okay? The jacket is pretty thick, so it can penetrate pretty well. So let me know what you guys think. How many sheets is it going to go through? If you want to see my other sheet metal penetration tests, I'll leave a link to my sheet metal penetration tests playlist. And I'll also leave a link to my 308 Winchester playlist. I'll also leave a link to my suppressors playlist if you want to see some suppressor videos. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright guys, 308 versus sheet metal. We're going to be using my POF Rogue AR-10. This has a 16-inch barrel. I got my Silencer Co. Omega 300 silencer on here. And the ammunition I'm going to be using is some Norma Tactical M80 ball. This is a 147 grain full metal jacket bullet, and out of this 16-inch barrel, I'm getting probably just over 2,600 feet per second with the suppressor. Without the suppressor, I'm getting around 2,575 feet per second. So let's see what happens here. All right, guys, so these are the bullets here, or what's left of them after penetrating through 8 and 9 sheets of 16 gauge sheet metal, which is about a ½ inch of steel. That's a lot of penetration. Here we have the core from one of the bullets. You can see the jacket is completely gone, and it's just pure lead here. You can see that's the base of the bullet there. So pretty interesting. And then this is pretty cool. Check this out. This is actually the lead mixed with some of the steel, and the bullets just punched clean holes in the sheet metal. And it's kind of like a hole puncher that you use in grade school. You get those little pieces of paper after you punch holes in the paper, and it's kind of the same thing when you shoot sheet metal. You get these round discs of metal, not discs, but like coins basically, and you can see the lead from one of the bullets is just fused with the steel. You can see the steel coins there, parts of the sheet metal. So that's pretty cool. And then here's one of those coins that I'm talking about. Okay, it just punches a clean hole in the sheet metal and it leaves behind this little coin. It's pretty cool. And here's the jacket from one of the bullets. Okay, so the jacket completely separated from the core, and I wonder if actually this is the jacket from this core. You know, it looks like maybe they were together at one point. Yeah, actually it looks like they fit perfectly together. You see that? Check that out. So this is one of our bullets here. Okay. Pretty crazy. But I'm surprised it didn't just blow apart into, you know, nothing basically. I'm surprised that I actually was able to recover even these pieces here. So Norma, they're doing a pretty good job with their ammunition. So check that out, guys. That's pretty cool. And you can see that this jacket is pretty thick for a full metal jacket. So that's why it was able to penetrate so well, because it's a thick jacket. It's not a thin jacket like some full metal jacket ammunition is just garbage. They use really thin jacket material because they expect people to just be punching paper with it. But this is actually a military grade full metal jacket that will actually penetrate through stuff. And this is pretty impressive that I was able to recover this much of the bullet. And then here we have some other pieces of bullet. Check this out. Look at this core. This is just crazy. It's just a flattened piece of lead. That's just absolutely insane. Look at that. And then here's the jacket. I'm assuming this is the jacket for this one. That's what it looks like. Okay. So pretty cool. So let's go through all these sheets one by one and take a closer look at the sheet metal. All right, guys. So once again, AR-10 308 Winchester 16-inch barrel M80 ball full metal jacket penetrated through 8 and 9 sheets of 16 gauge sheet metal. So here's the first sheet. These were our 2 hits right here. And here's the back of the first sheet. And look at how it just punched through that metal there. That's pretty crazy. Check that out. Look how it just punched right through. Wow, that's interesting. Check this one out. This one's even cooler. Check that out. Just punched right through that sheet metal. That is impressive, guys. Wow. Look how thick that metal is. It's not thin. We're not talking about aluminum foil here. This is sheet metal. And then here's our second sheet. These were our 2 hits here. Here's the back of the second sheet. Here's the third sheet. These were our 2 hits here. And here's the back of the third sheet. Here we have the 4th sheet. Okay, these were our 2 hits right here. And here's the back of the 4th sheet. Look at how big these holes are now. It's pretty insane. Interesting. And here's the 5th sheet. And look at the 5th sheet. You can see some of the lead depositing on the entrance hole there. Okay, check that out. Here are exit holes. Look at this, guys. This is pretty insane. That's pretty sharp. Wow, pretty impressive, guys. Here's our 6th sheet. And you can see a lot of lead material in both holes. You can see the lead there, right there. And we got some lead around the outside there. And here's the back of the 6th sheet. Here's our 7th sheet, and now you can really see a lot of lead here and here. Look at all that lead that got deposited. That's pretty crazy. But it still kept punching through, which is pretty surprising because lead is pretty soft. You would think it would just blow apart, but it just kept going through. Look at all that lead there. It's pretty insane. And then here's the back of the 7th sheet. Okay. And then here we have our 8th sheet. And this one got stuck in the 9th sheet, penetrated through 8. Check that out, guys. And this one penetrated through 9. And look at this. Look at how it just peeled that metal out of the way. That is just crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. And then here's our 9th sheet. We got a dent here from this one. And then here we actually have a little bit of lead that's embedded in the steel. And it punched through the 9th sheet just barely. So we're going to say 9 sheets, but it just barely punched through 9. So check that out, guys. And you can see all the discs there from the prior sheets that it carried with it. And there's our bullet just fused into that metal. It's pretty crazy. So that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this test. If you want to see more sheet metal penetration tests, I'll leave a link in the top right corner of this video. If you want to see more content with my AR-10, I'll leave links to that in the top right corner of this video. If you want to see suppressor videos, I'll leave links to that as well. Check out my sponsors. Until next time, take care. May God bless you. May God bless America. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.